Ball out. Ball out.
Bow, bow. Bow, bow.
Ball out.
Bow,
Ball out.
bow. All we do is bow.
Ball out.
Bow, bow, bow.
Ball out.
Ball out.
Ball out.
Ball out.
Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Dropping by the mall out. Come deliver mail on y'all route. Show them what it's all about. Just get called out. Fall out. Me and my clique, we don't fall out. Me and my chick, we don't fall out. We minding our business, keep y'all out. Break up, get up quick, then we hit licks till it's all out. I hate my job, I'ma call out. Boss of myself, child out. I'm a recruiter, a high percentage shooters. Gotta keep rifles and Rugers. Some people just trifling the losers. Watch for the jackers at night, they be cruising. I can put together. A.R. Kinston-Yetta. My hitters be tougher than leather. Can't nobody do it better. Glock 9 with the F in. Step in with my best friend. Best friend Smith and West End. If you miss 6, still catch 10. Ball out. Stall out. Pulling up outside the y'all house. Empty till we all out. I got the juice and I'm crazy. If you not a killer, don't say. Hit squad ain't nothing to play with. Undertaker and a grave dig. Best man like Tay Diggs. When you in the paint, gotta play big. Hitters ignorant like cavemen. Went from good fellas to made men. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Shout out, ball out. Get called out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Me and my hitters go all out. We about to take them all out. Ball out. Me and my hitters go all out. Ball out.
Boss Cowboy Sports in the building.
Me and my hitters go all out.
Like, share, subscribe, comment.
We about to take them all out.
Y'all get in here. YouTube, get in here. Facebook, get in here. It's the Boss Cowboy Sports Show where your voice matters. Bell notification icons, like, share, subscribe, comment. Let your friends and family and loved ones know we are in the building. It's the OC and the man with the plan, Boss Cowboy. Is Dan Quinn a savior? Is Dan Quinn a genius? We go talk about that and more in this show. Boss Cowboy, talk to the people.
Yeah, I'm not gonna crown him a genius yet, but bro, the more that I research, the more and more I've become a million times confident that our defense is going to be way better. Way better. Yeah, way better. So make sure y'all stay with us today. Stay with us the whole show, because this show is going to be almost like the last two shows, to where you start kind of getting it towards the end. I'm gonna be honest. We gonna have to build. What's up, DA? I see my boy said we in the building. Marvin, he said, "What's up, people?" And then Matt said, "Get that first pick though, right?" Yeah. And then some people falling into the trap of talking to Texans fans. Don't do it. Don't do it. But no, man, it's a lot going on, and I think it's some confusion. Especially with linebacker. With the new updates. So I want to kind of get your initial thoughts, and then I want to kind of start piece by piece breaking down what's going on, to where we can really see clearer Dan Quinn's moves. What you got?
Yeah, so, I mean, listen, here's the deal. Personnel and alignment is everything, and that's what we're going to get into today. Personnel and alignment. Do you have the right personnel to run the defense that you want to run, and can that defense with the personnel you have be effective against the teams that you'll play against? And that was the issue that we had last year when we tried to convert to a 3-4 when we had 4-3 personnel. This year is shaping out so far in OTAs to be much different in terms of what we see initially in terms of concept, strategy, and scheme. And so we're going to get into that and how the players fit into nuances of what will be taking place and how that will impact the outlook of that defense this coming year.
Right. So you gotta stay with us. And Mojo said, boss, I'm officially sipping the Kool-Aid, man. After today, you go get drunk on it. I'm gonna tell you, cause I'm about drunk on it, OC. I'm about all the, and shouts out to Professor O, because he was the one that really kind of led me down the path to learn more about what Dan Quinn is doing, and we go talk about it. But before we do, you first have to understand the process of what they're doing right now. So what we go do is we go listen to some veterans who played for the Cowboys. They go walk you through what OTA is about, what minicamp is about, so that when we start explaining what's going on, it's going to all make sense, okay? But until we set the foundation, it's going to be a lot of confusion and mystery of what's going on. So let's just kind of get into the sound bites real quick, and then it'll kind of explain itself. So stay with us real quick. Here we go.
So Danny, Mike McCarthy said yesterday to the media they've been working on installs, and he'll finish the installs next week. So explain to our fan base what install means.
So first thing, before we talk about what install means and what they're doing, this was from last week. And remember, he said installs will be done by next week, which is this week. Okay? So I want to be real clear on that. All right.
Means for offense, defense, and special teams.
Yeah, so I'll just speak to it from defense because that's where I came from, and special teams is kind of the same. So each year is kind of like wash, rinse, and repeat, right? So because you have new people coming in, you have new stuff that you want to put in your playbook, or you might have new coaches that need to figure out how this stuff is going to work. So each year you come in and you start with the very basics of your defense, and you put that in cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, and you hammer that home just to make sure that everybody has that, because if you aren't able to run those type of defenses, as we saw last year, then you aren't able to put in your blitzes or your zero coverages. You aren't.
So what he said was the install is the foundation before you start getting exotic. Remember, install really began last week. So you got to understand this first before we even talk about the rest of the show. All right. So I'm going to keep going.
Able to add on to what you want to do. So you start with the basics, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, and every day you add on something else. So when you're installing, you're going football 101, next day, football 102, next day, football 103. And the plan is that once you're done with training camp, you have everything installed. So you have so many things that you could pick from when the game actually comes on.
All right. So, OC, did you have anything on that?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's the basics, and we kind of hit on it a little bit. If you didn't watch the show last week, please go back and watch that show, because we built upon last show to talk about this show, and it'll help you get caught up a whole lot faster. Yeah. So basically, anything that you put in first, when you talk about install, you're talking about your basic defense. The base defense that you're going to play versus anybody. Same thing with offense, right? When you have install, it's, hey, this is the basic formation or formations and the basic plays we're going to run, right, against whoever we play against, regardless of the scenario, and we're just going to tweak it. And then from that, you build in all of your additional things that you do, your additional tweaks are your scenario-based strategies. All right, if that makes sense. Scenario-based strategies based upon who you play. So that's what they're talking about right here.
Right. Well said. And so what we also got to take from what was going on last week, that's also the foundation. So the leaks and rumors that we was hearing was about the foundation, the fundamentals, which we both know is a 4-3 defense. Mike Fisher let it out. He was counting 4 down linemen. They using 4-3 terminology with 3 tech, 1 tech, and all the stuff that they keep saying over and over and over again. They using the 3 tech terminology all the way back to the linebackers, right? Consistently. So what's going on now is we're in mini camp. So they're starting to get what? Exotic. And that's going to lead us into breaking down some of the beautiful things that Quinn is doing that I promise you a lot of people not seeing. You had some on that, OC?
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. After you get past the base packages, you're going to get into more details, all right? And people say the devil's in the details, where the success of any defense is in the details. And so we go get into a little bit of details as it relates to the personnel, why they're going to line up in certain places, what's the whole strategy of that defense, and what are they trying to accomplish by certain looks, right? When they line up this way, what's the point of this? Why are they doing this? What are they trying to accomplish? And then how are they going to get it done? And so that's what we go kind of dig into, nosedive into a little bit more for you guys.
All right, and before we nosedive, I'm gonna play one more thing. All right, just to kind of paint the picture, then we'll go ahead and get into like the real details of what Quinn is doing.
Yeah, and it's like, and like you said, you know, from the first day, it's just cover one. This is your simple rules. You got this dude man to man. Cover three, let's go over your basic rules for cover three. Strong safety, you got curl flat. The safeties in the middle of the field. Corners, you got the deep third. But as the days go on in camp, like you said, you put a little variable on each one. You know, if the offense comes out in 2x2, we're going to check to this. If they come out in 3x1, we want you to check to this. And that's basically how you go about your installs. Like Danny said, each day is just a little bit different variable to that main defense that, you know, cover one, cover two, or cover three. Each day after that is just a little bit different, a little bit of tweak here and there, and adjustments to what the offense is doing.
And then by the end of it, you're calling the defense, and then you're able to adjust it on the fly, right? Because the players are all on the same page, and they know, so they can look to the coach, and the coach throws up a sign, and now you know exactly what to do. But before that happens, you're not able to do that.
Yeah, and it's like, and like you said, you know, from the first day, it's just.
Yeah, so that's the process. So we go ahead and tell you now what's going on. Okay? We go stop teasing. What's going on? I'm about 90% confident in what's going on. Dan Quinn is now adding the next layer to the defense in the minicamp, and it's called a 4-3 under. Okay, so 4-3 was the base. This is the vanilla defense. That's what they went over week 1. Now they starting to get exotic, and I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Day 1, offense got their butt whooped. Can you explain why, OC?
Day one offense got their butt whooped is because number one, it always takes the offense a little bit of time to settle in and to pick up who they're going to block. If you don't know who you go block and you don't have your assignments correct, you're going to have people in the backfield, people rushing the passer, blowing up plays, things like that. And so as Dan Quinn came in and began to put in some of these nuances, even from the base defense on one-on-one personnels, you have people getting beat and people not understanding who to block. And that's what we go get into as we show you this 4-3 under and kind of how do you mitigate blocking assignments based upon what you're trying to accomplish offensively. So stay tuned.
Yeah. And so this is the deal. The 4-3 under, all right, just to go through the principles, because we got to go through the principles. I'm going to tell you, it's impossible to talk real football with having a degree of school in it. I gotta be honest with you. Now, if you just want us to entertain you and jump rope and talk, probably not the channel. But if you want to kind of walk away and when you looking on the field, you can see when they make changes, you can get an ideal of what they're doing or trying to do, this is the show for you. So we go get into a couple of principles, okay? So first of all, the 4-3 under is ancient. It's not anything new, right? It's a defense, right, that's basically designed, right? In its simplest terms, it's a gap control system meant to stop the run and to pressure the passer. For the most part, each lineman and linebacker is responsible for one gap that makes each player's responsibility fairly cut and dry, and eliminates a lot of the reads and thinking from the game. So people that had a problem with Jalen, this is one of the reasons why you want him building on top of the base 4-3 with the 4-3 under. This is also why you seeing them saying stuff like it's gonna be quick read and play. We not gonna have to diagnose and it's gonna make them what, OC?
Play fast.
Fast. They go play faster. So one gap system is simpler, but one of the other things of it that I love. Oh, did you want to add to that, OC?
No, I'm waiting until you throw up this diagram and I'm gonna break it down. But
okay, I'll get to the diagram.
but
let me kick off.
No. But yeah, and this is all principle related. So, I mean, the principles, as you so wonderfully said about the 4-3 under, is built to do two things: to stop the run and to rush the passer.
Yes,
that's what it. I mean, that's
Epic.
all it's built for. And so
all.
it's built on speed. It's built on winning one-on-one. It's built on, if you talk about just core principles, it's built on funneling in particular, and we'll show this on the diagram. It's built on funneling run plays to a particular side. All right, it's funneling. All right, that's all it's doing. And so, listen, man, it's a good look, and this is the part that I'm most excited about. You know, not just the look itself, but that it actually fits the personnel.
It fits.
It
Hold on.
fits.
So
It
you going
fits the
fast?
personnel.
Because I got the diagram for you. Because I know you ready. I can't wait till you take off on this. Y'all stay with us, man. This is, trust me. If you drunk Kool-Aid from the last show, you gonna be drunk off this one. So check this. He said 4-3 under is essentially running the weak side of the defensive line to the strong side. So these are the principles. All right. So I'm not going to get too deep into that. And walking down your Sam linebacker over the tight end. That's the key difference. It's primarily run stopping defense with the added benefit of being the best 4-3 defense to rush the passer with. So I'm gonna throw up the first diagram, OC, the traditional 4-3 base. All right, This is it. So you can see that the Sam linebacker is lined up outside the edge of the tackle. It changes with the under.
So now go ahead.
No, you go, brother.
So now the under, now you lining up the defensive end. If you look where you see RT and TE, you lining up that defensive end in what's called the C gap in between the right tackle and the tight end. And you got that Sam linebacker, right? He's playing now under. So to give you guys some nuance for everybody that I was talking about, the 4-3 and different looks and variations, well, let me give you one. All right, look, a 3-4 can look just like this defense.
Yeah.
A 3-4 can look just like this defense. And if you're running a 4-3 under, let me enhance it even more for you football heads and those that want to learn. This is quintessentially a 5-2.
Yep.
That's really what you're running. You're running a 5-2.
Yeah.
So 5 down linemen, pretty much, one standing up with your Sam linebacker and 2 linebackers. So the whole nuances and design of this, and listen, this fits very, very well on the Leo position, which is the defensive end next to the Sam, which would be Tank Lawrence. Is that he did very.
That's actually in the defense how they doing it right now.
No, I'm sorry. It's Gregory. My bad.
It's Gregory, and guess who else?
Basham, I believe.
Parsons.
Yeah. Well, no. I'm talking about the defensive end. All right, put the diagram
the
back
defensive
up.
end. I got you.
I'm talking about the defensive end.
Oh, the
defensive
defensive
put the diagram
end. Right.
back up.
That's Tank.
That's
Because they already came out. All right, listen.
Hold on, boss, because I'm about to make a killer point.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, hold on. Put the diagram back up, man, because people need to see this so they can understand. I know you excited. You got a lot of fire in you today.
I'm ready to, man. Yeah. I'm ready to.
So when you look at this 4-3 under defense, and you look at the diagram, you look at the look. When you got Parsons walking up into the Sam, here's the great advantage. You got him one-on-one versus the tight end. 4-3 speed, 245. Whether he's rushing or defending the run, that's a win. Okay, and so what you're doing here is that you also have the option, if you're blitzing the Mike linebacker, you got the option of slanting Tank Lawrence inside over the right guard, or have him just shooting the gap, beating that tackle one-on-one. So you're creating one-on-one matchups, and what you're doing in the run game is that everybody's protecting the gap. So you got the C gap, the tight end, with the Sam linebacker, which would be Parsons. He'll be over the tight end. He's covered outside, which is the D gap. You got Tank Lawrence covering that C gap, and you got the Mike linebacker covering the B gap, and you got that nose tackle covering the A gap. So what are you doing here? What are you doing here in the run game? This is the key point that you got to understand about stopping the run in particular. I talked a little bit about the pass. Is that you are funneling everything to the Mike and the Will linebacker. Because the Sam should be playing up the field. So should Tank Lawrence, taking everything away to the strong side of the formation because you have an extra man there being the tight end. Everything should be funneled to the Will and to the Mike. They should be your leading tacklers. The Will and the Mike, everything on the run game should be funneled to these guys if this defense is executed appropriately. And I'll start right there. I got some more. Go ahead and jump in, Boss Cowboy.
Yeah, no, you good. See, first, what are the advantages? All right. It allows you to place your playmakers in position to make plays. It produces a lot of one-on-ones. That's the same thing the OC said. He never read this, never knew that I was going to read this, okay? It produces a lot of one-on-one pass rushing matchups by alignment and uses your DEs, your defensive ends, and Sam as primary contain. So when you look at the diagram and you look at on the right side, you'll see the Sam. Him and Tank, which would be Parsons, are primary contain. Or guess what else that could be, or who that could be? Gregory. Meaning you could have two rushers on the same side for those one-on-ones and might have to go against a tight end. That's what you have right now with what they trying to do with the Dallas Cowboys. Now, one of the holes that they tried to make seem as if it wasn't a hole, but it is a hole, is when you read the part where he said your free safety can walk down to man up on any slot receivers. In theory, that sounds easy, but in reality, that's likely a mismatch.
Correct.
Okay.
It's a lot of space to cover, man. And
Yeah.
if you put up the diagram, people can see it easy too. If that free safety is walking down to cover a slot, man, that free is walking down like within 2 or 3 yards of the Will linebacker to cover the slot. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
He's walking down, and that's a lot of grass or turf to cover. So it's not as easy as it sounds.
And see, that's what theory sometimes gotta match the people.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, it's easy to write. Your free safety can just walk down and cover the slot. Yeah, right. If he didn't got the skill set, that's what we call an athlete on a stiff.
Mm-hmm.
The defense itself favors run stopping safeties, as they have to be able to play the alley should anyone break contain. Let's pause there for a second because there's been somebody that we have been talking about that a lot of people wondering what's going on. Now, we done already told y'all that this man is one of the best run-stopping safeties that we acquired. He's running with the ones, y'all. And some stuff starting to come out, we go get into it, about maybe Donovan Wilson being on a little bit of a bubble.
Bubble?
Yeah, we go take that. Because
like the bubble that might burst?
The bubble that might burst, and I'm not playing. Like I know he's one of y'all favorites, but these coaches is not playing, bro. He coaches. We gonna get into that though, because it's already coming out. So when you look at the when we break down what the 4-3 under is, and you start seeing the pieces, then you start understanding why they had a practice like they did yesterday. So we go break down the principles, then we go break down the rumors, and it's gonna be all clear on how we are headed exponentially in the right direction. All right, so I want to show a couple of more things. All right. And exactly what the OC said at the bottom. The Mike linebacker gets to force runs, plays two gaps. The Will linebacker should be your fastest linebacker. Let's slow down. Who was playing in the packages yesterday at the Will? Canoe Neal. You see what I'm saying?
There it is.
So when
There
you
it
look
is.
at there it is. So when you look at the principles of the 4-3 under, it is so obvious that Dan Quinn is doing nothing but fitting those guys where they fit towards the integrity of the defense.
No doubt.
Somebody said, this is a good question. I got to take this one. Let's see. Why is someone on 105.3 saying Curse can't play? I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I won't touch that right now. I'm just gonna say I'm not sure why they're saying that, and I don't know what perspective, because I didn't hear that. I don't know what perspective they're coming from. Did they say he can't play the run? He can't play the pass? Now I will give it to you that in terms of pass coverage, he does need to clean up some things in terms of technical stuff, right? So if they're talking about in that sense, okay, I understand what they mean. But in terms of playing and the concept of stopping the run, he's very, very big, very physical to point, more than capable in the run game.
Oh, see, let's check him out. We ain't did this in a while. Let's check him out.
Yeah,
let's go pull up his film, bro. All right, so whenever people got questions, answer it with the film, okay? So as you can see, they play him down in the box a lot, which is what they're doing in Dallas right now. Now, we already told y'all, if you watch his film, you would know that he is a better run stopper than Cox right now, where you could play him at the wheel. You could just do it. Because he plays with phenomenal instincts. That's him versus a tight end. They actually designed that play to get him. They knocked the ball out, right? But this was a play action designed to take him out. This was a deceptive play where he faked like he was blocking down and then he goes. It was designed to go at him, all right? On the first couple of plays, the only thing I'm going to say when you watch his film is on right here, he was a little bit slow on read and run. Just a little bit. He could have been a half second faster. But then you go only see this a couple of times. But from here on, man, this dude film is just good, especially in the box. Now, OC hit it dead on the head when he said, his coverage is okay. Cox covers better than him, but he is way better in the box, okay? This is another one where he read run a little bit too slow. So as soon as they blocked down, he should have took that fullback head on to close and squeeze down that hole. That's my only complaint from here on. Now, as you watch the rest of his film, you're not going to see nothing else but a monster in the box. So when people say, because I heard somebody say he's not a starter, how you go start in Minnesota when the starting safety is Smith and Harris? Like how? Oh, see, how? How do we even?
Yeah, that's pretty hard, man. That's pretty hard. Sometimes you just playing behind some real good people, man.
Right.
It happens in life, man.
It happens.
You playing against some elite people. Man, okay, I'll give you a perfect example, man. There's one of my good friends. He's backup running back for LaDainian Tomlinson at TCU. Right? He didn't touch the field, man. He was a good running back.
Yeah.
He just was playing behind an all-world, future Hall of Fame type guy, man. And then sometimes it just happens.
Yeah. So just like Schultz, when did we see Schultz break out? When Witten left?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? When did Jarwin take off? When Witten was getting less snaps? But see, because a lot of people like to say you can't play because you didn't start. Sometimes, okay, if you the fourth receiver in Dallas, likely you're not gonna start. Just be honest. You can be real good, but you're not gonna start. But just look at this dude terrorizing, bro, from the box. So, and people saying, why does he start? Why is he running with the ones? Man, just turn on the tape, bro. Like, we did a breakdown on him even before we signed him, bro. So we was already looking at him as a prospect. This man is good in the box. He's very disruptive. He makes plays. He runs through that running back right there, that receiver, and makes a play in the backfield. And he does it over and over and over again. What you got on that, OC?
Yeah, man. I mean, look, he's very physical, good hands, right? Good at disengaging. I would like to see him come up with a little bit more leverage on the run game, but I can't really criticize him too much because he's making a tackle, right? But just from a nuanced perspective, yeah, go ahead and settle down, throttle down more on the blocks, come off cleaner. But man, he's quick, he's fast. I mean, he's physical. He's willing to stick his nose in there, man. It's kind of like you playing street football when you watch him play a little bit. You know, he's gonna come in there, stick his nose in there, and make the play. Good timing on that, and then he's in right there on the quarterback. So good job by him, man. I mean, I don't have any doubts that he can come in and definitely help you make some plays from that linebacker position, no doubt about it.
See, this is what amazes me about sometimes our fans. We got film on this guy playing good. A lot of film. Go find me bad film. I beg anybody that's saying this dude can't play, go find me the bad film. That's all I want. Show me the film to where he's trash. That's what I want to see. From Minnesota, from Clemson, from Detroit. Please. Because it doesn't make sense, in my opinion, to co-sign Xavier Woods for three years, still be cool with Anthony Brown as a starter, but look at somebody with good tape where you can't find bad tape, but then say they shouldn't start for the Cowboys. All right. So, I mean, like, it's just no way to turn on the tape and just see what people are saying on that, man. I'm going to move on this curse thing. I just wanted to kind of put eyes on this real quick, you know. I wanted to just, you know, all of us to kind of see and say, okay, is it valid what they're saying? Because I'm going to tell you right now, and this is him in coverage on a tight end. Tell me, is this bad?
Yeah, no, I mean, tight end not fast enough to shake him, and he jammed him up. He jammed him up so good, the dude barely could get into his route.
Right.
So, again, physical at the point, man, and that's what you like to see from your linebackers, man. And, I mean, this guy's not going to run past him. He ain't fast enough just to run past him. He right there with the guy, man. I mean, he got him covered up. No big deal.
Yeah. So, like, I don't understand why some people, they co-sign him. And then now this is right here is where I have a problem with him, that closing speed. That's the thing I have a problem with him. That will be my concern. And you can really see it when he go across field. Whenever you want to see speed, watch them when they're going across field.
Yeah, too much cushion, man. Way too much cushion.
So his closing speed would maybe be my concern. But other than that, man, we got us a good player in Curse. Curse is one of the better players that we'd have had at safety in a while. Like, we didn't say nothing when they was co-signing Thompson last year. The whole fan base was solid. But then you got a guy in here that can actually play in the free, that can play in the slot, and can play like a linebacker in the box that's physical, that has a lot of courage. That's a dog, and the Cowboy fan base like, I don't know if we want him. All right, okay. I ain't going to even debate that. But going back to the 4-3 under, and we was talking about the principles real quick. So on the principles, we was talking about your wheel linebacker having the speed. We talked about the safeties having to be good tacklers, which we saw with him. And you can see that they putting the chess pieces in place. And so now that we see what's going on, I kind of want to now let's listen, OC. Let's listen to what they're saying, because as this is unfolding, I guarantee you a lot of people have no idea what's going on. So the first person we go listen to, let's listen to Micah Parsons. All right. So then we'll go back to the diagram and it'll all make sense. Watch this.
Micah, take us through what the last few weeks have been like for you, and what have you learned most in your first few weeks in the Cowboy system?
I would say the last 2 weeks have been a big transitional stage for me. Obviously learning with more checks, being more vocal, playing a new position, actually multiple new positions, has been pretty hectic.
Micah, take us through.
More vocal, playing a new position, actually multiple new positions, has been pretty hectic.
Micah, take us through what the last few weeks have been.
More vocal, playing a new position, actually multiple new positions, has been pretty hectic.
You say you're learning multiple new positions. What positions would you say you play for the Cowboys right now?
Pretty much every linebacker spot on the field right now. So I think that's why they bring me here to play Sam, middle, and Will. So I've been learning them all right now.
Right. So when you listen to that, this is what's getting a lot of people. They thinking he's saying this, OC. They thinking he playing the Sam, middle, and the Will from a traditional base, not the under. That's not what's going on. What's going on is they having him playing the Sam in the 4-3 under, which is like a pass rusher. Okay? They also setting him up on the right end as what's called the Leo. Okay? And so this is how we go get pass rush from our guys. All of them. So Parsons, Tank, and Gregory on the field at the freaking same time.
But don't forget one key thing. We ain't talked about this yet. Put the diagram back up.
Okay.
We know that under 3 technique. What do we talk about? We talked about Gallimore playing that 3 technique, and the principles of the 4-3 under wants a undersized, quicker pass rusher at that 3 technique that's quick and can win one-on-one.
Right.
Neville Gallimore is a natural 3 technique. That's when he also spoke about Bashan, and I don't know exactly how he's doing yet, right? Undersized, quick, almost like the Seattle Seahawk model on where they used to line up Michael Bennett in that 3 technique all the time, and he would just eat guards lunch all the time just because of explosive first step. We showed last show, you need to go back and watch that, Boss Cowboy Sports, like, share, subscribe, and comment if you had seen us talk about Neville Gallimore and show his 40 and show the explosiveness on his first 2 steps and how he began to mold into his own at the end of this past season. Don't forget about that. That's important.
Very important. And see, perfect transition too, because the defense of the 4-3 under is a staple of Pete Carroll. Okay? It's a staple, right? So when Dan Quinn allegedly went to Seattle, he was coming from a 3-4 system. He walked into a heavy dose of this 4-3 under. But the key to this 4-3 under is not gonna work unless you got the bodies. You gotta have the killers, man. You can't just draw this up like chess. It don't work because you put it on a chessboard. You gotta have the people that can make the plays. The key thing that they said about the Sam position gotta be a guy who can pass rush at any time. That's the whole key to the 4-3 under. Or you just kind of playing with a chessboard.
And Micah Parsons is that guy. And
Right.
I've said it since I've said it since before we drafted him. I said, man, it would be powerful and impactful for the Cowboys for them to rush Micah Parsons.
Yes, you
for them
did.
to let him rush the passer. I've been saying that for months.
You been.
And now we see it. We
And
see
they
the
put it in.
manifestation of it.
They putting it in, OC. You see, week 1 was the 4-3 base, where they was basically dealing with just the fundamental 4-3. Now it's exotic time. Now they adding the dimensions to the 4-3 to highlight their killers.
And I can tell you something else, and they may not go this far. If you want to get super exotic, you want to get super freaky with this thing in a jet package, you actually, because of the fact that you do have Neil that can play linebacker, right? And so they said they're running Randy at Sam. How do you not?
Because he
know
said it.
that?
Hold on. This is how I know.
That's similar to what I've done last year. What I can say is that I think it's a little bit more.
What are they asking you to do differently this year than last year in this new scheme?
Honestly, not that much, in my opinion. I think as far as, what position I'm going to play, which it'll be a lot of Sam play, which it'll be a lot of Sam. You know, what position I'm going to play, which it'll be a lot of Sam. You know, what position I'm going to play, which it'll be a lot of Sam, a lot of rushing. You know, that's similar to what I've done last year. You know, what I can say is that I think it's a little bit more diverse as far as the different looks we can give on defense. I think it's going to be a lot more fun for us, at least for me. And it'll really be able to stretch my limits athletically on the field as far as me dropping in coverage, you know, lining up wide and trying to get to the quarterback and different games and stunts we can do as a D-line. So it really appeals to me. I'm sure it appeals to a lot of the other guys, but in my opinion, it's kind of similar to what we did last year.
And see, do you know what's throwing people off? When he says similar to what we did last year in that 3-4 defense, people thinking he's saying that we go still play a majority of a 3-4. They not putting it together that you stand up sometimes in the 4-3 under. That's one of the key principles of it, but you still got 4 down linemen. So people heard that and they was like, oh, we gonna be doing what we did last year. No, what he was saying is I play like I did last year. But it's still gonna be 4 down linemen. So Tank, as we said we wanted, his hand is gonna stay in the ground.
100.
So when we tell y'all that Quinn is setting up, and then you got to go back and understand why they won epically yesterday, because it was just too much on that offense. The athletes that was rushing Dak was too much. It was too much speed. I'm telling y'all the truth, y'all. See, I'm telling you, bet on the D this year. The only thing that's gonna stop us is injuries. But if everybody healthy, you getting ready to see a massacre.
Yeah, man. Love it, man. I think that it's definitely, man. You mean you if you rush it, look, because you got Neil, you could even rush Jalen if you wanted.
Ooh.
Because you got Neil, you can leave Neil at the wheel. And you can rush Jalen and bump Gregory over guard, which is a tremendous mismatch.
All right, so Chris Davis
just an ideal.
He also said he playing Sam and rushing. You got to remember, in the 4-3 under, the Sam is not like the traditional Sam of a 4-3, regular 4-3. The Sam under the under is containment and can become a pass rusher in a moment. So what they're trying to do is create the mismatches in the one-on-one, and we got the guys to do it. So I knew this was going to happen. People was going to come in here and they thinking that he's playing a traditional Sam. No, this Sam is like a rusher.
And we also highlighted as well, and Micah Parsons, how that he's learning multiple linebacker positions. So keep in mind, this is early, and they still playing with Parsons some.
Yeah,
so yeah, you may see they playing with it. So that's what you got to understand. We early in the game, right? So you can't say, oh, well, you know, how you don't know, man. He's going to play Sam. This is not no set position type situation. Yeah, Gregory has played the Sam, but also Mike has played that Sam too in the under 100%. He played the Mike a few practices ago. Right? So he's going to play in different parts of that defense because they going to get the most bang for their buck. And because they have depth, keep this in mind, because they have depth and they have Neil, right? And they have LVE. They have 4 linebackers starting caliber. They can play with the pieces and see how they shape out in different scenarios. Just food for thought.
All right, so I think Chris struggling like I'm telling a lie or something, all right? He said, you also said Mike is playing Sam. Is Randy that would be the Sam? Listen, they rotating both of them right now, brother. I'm telling you. And I'm going to tell you why. But because they got 1 week to finish the installs. Right. Before the guys leave, the coaches want to get film so that they can go dream up specific packages for the talent that they see, but they at least got to see it. So that's where they're being creative right now with the mismatches, and that's why they're moving them around. Now, you came to Boss Cowboy Sports, so we work hard to verify what we say. So I'm getting ready to do that. Just listen. Here we go.
With Micah Parsons, and what they're doing with him is they're putting him with the various. They played really all nickel today. There really wasn't much base. And what was interesting,
and see, I think Brian Broaddus got that a little bit off. I'm gonna explain why. I don't think he was recognizing that it was a 4-3 under. You see what I'm saying? So
key point.
He thought it was a nickel when actually it was the 4-3 under. But what he was saying is this stuff that they rolling out now is different than what they was doing last week in OTAs, which was the basic stuff. Now they're getting exotic, okay?
is they were putting Micah on one side as the right side.
And before I keep going, let me prove that Mike, because Broaddus was calling safeties coming down nickel. Okay, here's the proof.
And that's not true.
Right. Here's the proof though. You know I ain't gonna say it without proving it. Check this out.
Again, they're trying to work these safeties in and out and some of that nickel stuff, walking those guys down.
Y'all heard that? So in his mind, walking those guys down was the nickel. No, it was the 4-3 base that he was looking at.
At Rush and Randy Gregory on the left.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So to Michael's point, when he's talking about how we didn't know that Gregory's playing Sam, well, he just said Randy Gregory was on the left, and he said Micah Parsons standing up rushing on the right. That will make Micah Parsons the Sam in a 4-3 under. That will make Gregory the backside end rushing over the left tackle.
And then he said he played both.
Exactly. I mean, go ahead, continue, boss.
Yeah, I'll continue. All right, so
yeah, go ahead.
Let me get it again. Here we go.
So they're trying to kind of find spots for him. He was primarily working with Keanu Neal today. So what they were doing was they had Parsons at one of the linebacker spots and Neal at the other one. So when that was their nickel package.
Neal and who?
Neal and Parsons. He was on the field as the two linebackers.
Okay.
And then what would happen then was they would take Neal off the field, and then they would bring down one of the safeties like Curse, which was pretty interesting. So they're just going for bigger guys in the box and their nickel package stuff. But
and Jalen and Van Der Esch were practicing?
They both were practicing. Yes, sir. So that.
And see, the reason why he laughed is because when reports come out that the guys that was on the field was a majority of Parsons and Neal, that sounds like it's a linebacker controversy, but it's not. This is a package. It's
Correct.
a change-up package. And let me explain that. Sometimes certain guys fit certain schemes better. So that's why we had to lay the foundation first with the principles of the 4-3 under, where they talked about that the wheel linebacker in the 4-3 under have to be what? Fast.
Correct.
That's also why they moving Micah to the wheel. They trying to look at him there as well.
Correct.
With the 4-3 under.
Correct.
So this package does not mean LVE is trash. It does not mean Jalen is trash. This is a change-up package for a particular situation they might see from an offense.
Correct.
So if they want to see, the OC said I'm correct. This is an offensive mind saying this. If I was incorrect, he would tell me. So this is what's going on. So like people reading into it like, oh, they're on the bubble. No, this is week 2 mini camp where there's now starting to add in exotic coverages and defenses and ways to attack.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And that's why you see them rotating linebackers, right? So just to give you guys a little bit more color, man, I mean, you could see Neal on the 4-3 under, and if Boss puts it back up, we can talk about it, because I think that most people are like audio, the diagram, are audio visual learners, right? So we want to like talk about it and show you. You could replace several linebackers and bump them all around, right? So in this under front, you could have Neal at the wheel. You could have Jalen at the wheel. You could have, you also can move Micah over there on the wheel because he's fast enough to cover, right? And also to keep contained on the backside, right? So you could have a variety of things here. You could have LVE at the wheel if you wanted to. You wouldn't have LVE at the Salmon is because he's not really a pass rusher, right? So you could have LVE at the Mike, or you could bump down Jalen at the Mike. You could have Jalen at the Sam. If you wanted to rush him, you actually could, and you could have a Parsons playing the Mike, right? Based upon your it's very flexible.
Right.
It's very flexible. So you can do a lot of things here, and that's why I tried to explain earlier. Really, this is like a 5-2. When you run this under, it's like a 5-2.
Oh,
and
man.
it looks, and you can't tell the difference really besides guys standing up or hands on the ground, because this looks like a 3-4. Looks like a 3-4, depending upon how you play the defensive end over the left tackle.
Right.
How you shade him. It looks like a 3-4, but in essence, it's a 5-2. It's just a variation of it. So that's what you got to keep in mind. And I know I might be speaking over some people's heads, and that's what probably need to just do.
You're doing good. I mean, how can you not understand, bro? We got diagrams with this. We got the principles in this. The only way people not understanding is if the same way people used to not understand when we was playing football. You tuned out when coaches teaching. Right. Because football is simple. You just got to tune in when a coach is teaching, right? And then you understand everybody's role. You understand your role and everything. This is a perfect example of what he's talking about, where they actually have 4 down linemen, and Sam is standing up on this one, right? Well, so, but he's still.
That's your fifth. That's your fifth lineman, so to speak, right? So you got 5 on the line of scrimmage. Is what you pretty much got.
Right.
You got your Will and your Mike, your 2 middle linebackers. So again, everything is supposed to. This Sam is supposed to blow up anything coming over this tight end, and it's supposed to funnel back to the Mike and to this Will. Right? He should be making tons of tackles. This Mike should be making tons of tackles. Everybody maintain a gap. You blow through your gap on the way to the quarterback, homie. Let's go. That's what we doing,
man.
Here.
Dog, bro. This is gonna be epic. Listen, I love what April said. April said, right, boss. Theo, you're putting the best fits together. Yes, that's what Dan Quinn is doing. And they showing it. Like, if you really watch and you look close with the clips at practice, you'll see it, right? So, obviously I got this because it's cute, and you get to, in case we talked about Randy Gregory, we got a simple little B-roll that'll kind of show his face. But man, they building this defense around, and we've been telling y'all, OC, how long have we been saying that they building the defense around their best players? How long we been saying that, bro?
Oh man, I lost count, man. We've said it so many times, man. And so what you're guaranteeing here is that people that have elite pass rushing ability that are very hard to block, and Randy Gregory is very hard to block one-on-one because he has quick steps, he has good leverage in terms of how he bends, he disengages really, really fast. Man, he gets off the football, man, right, completely. So here's the thing, they got him dropping
the coverage here. That's him playing a Leo right there.
Yep, they got him dropping in coverage there, covering the underneath routes. But if he's rushing the passer, man, he is lethal. And when he's rushing, that's the thing about this 4-3 under, is that the best pass rushers are going to be one-on-one guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
It's going to be one-on-one.
And this is why I told y'all, man, if y'all thought I junked the Kool-Aid last show, like, yeah, I do agree with it. We got to wait and see. But I also believe in acknowledging when I'm seeing things I've been asking for. Like, you're a horrible person if you've been asking for your wife to cook, clean, and, rub your head, and then she doing it, and you say nothing. That's you. You the creep, not her. You know what I mean? So it's like when you see your team moving in pure common sense, shouldn't we acknowledge it? Like, it's too much complaining sometimes just to complain. And see, and I'm gonna tell you, bro, Parsons at that Sam. Oh my God, bro!
Lethal, illegal in 35 states. Illegal in 35 states because you ain't gonna block on the tight end.
I gotta say it right. Sam from the 4-3 under.
Yes.
Oh, bro, who? Micah Parsons. Okay, I want y'all to listen. All right, just listen to what happened. All right, here we go.
But I'll tell you one thing, Parsons. I mean, Parsons. His rush one time, he hurt Titan and Sicky.
I saw that he got beat on a pass rush by Parsons and then walked over to the medical staff.
He fell on the ground afterwards. He went to the ground afterwards. I thought he beat him so quick.
He hurt him.
That Nasicki was trying to get out of his stance and couldn't get out of his stance fast enough. And it hurt him. It jarred him. I thought, and this is a terrible thing to say, I thought he blew out his Achilles.
Oh my!
Well, when you push off, you're thinking, that
a little herky jerky. Oh, gotta go.
Oh, gotta go, and then you get that herky jerky move, and then he went down like that. I'm like, oh man! But I'll tell you one thing, Parsons. Parsons.
Listen to this. We got more.
What happened today on that play where I think you got by Ty Nsekhe on a kind of a speed rush or whatever? It obviously would have been a sack if it was in a game. Just what happened on that play, and was that your best pass rush since you've been a Cowboy?
I wouldn't say it's my best pass rush, but we sent the house. I was able to come free, just use my speed to come off the edge, and do what I do best. So I'll say it's just in another play,
just
in another down.
I'm done. I don't even want to hear no more. Let's stop the show.
Do what I do best.
And this is when they first rolled out the 4-3 under.
Get upfield and create havoc is what he does best.
Bro, now, this is the benefit of the OC. An offensive podcaster, a coach, a guy who understands schemes. I want you to explain the fear of a pass rusher with 4-3 speed. Can you please explain that?
Yeah, man. I played offensive tackle, man. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. When a guy, it's a nightmare. Keep you up at night. It's a nightmare when you know that a guy is so fast that even if you go your fastest, you still not gonna be fast enough.
Yes,
it's a complete nightmare. And this is a guy not only that's fast, but he's strong. That's what you don't understand. He's strong. So he's actually, if you jump out, he's strong enough to beat you with power. Look at his body, man, and no offense, and I mean this respectfully, man. Oh man, his frame, and he's only gonna get bigger and stronger, by the way, in the next couple of years for sure. So here's the deal, man. If a dude is running at a 4.3 speed, I played against a guy in college, and I tell people this story, Antoine Pete, and this guy ran a 4.4, ended up playing for the Browns for several years. He ran a 4.4, 4.5 40 in the draft. He was 260 pounds, close to Micah Parsons, but not quite as fast. But the only way I could get ready to block against him when we played Cincinnati is I had to get a backup cornerback, Boss Cowboy, to rush me. That's the only way I could get any simulation of the type of speed I would see against him. I had to have one of the scout team defensive backs that wasn't gonna play in the game. He had to come over and he had to rush me every play so I could get used to seeing how it would look. So it's very hard to prep for that. And here's the thing: in the under roll, he's not gonna be playing against offensive tackle.
Tight ends.
He's gonna be playing against a tight end or a running back that's just not gonna have an idea what to do. So that's called a mismatch, and that's how you create plays and you create havoc and you take advantage of offenses, man. That's how it is, man. That's gonna be tough. He's gonna be a tough out, man. He's gonna be a real tough out.
It ain't no out for this, bro. It's no answer.
Gonna be tough.
This. It's no
gonna be tough.
See, I want to ask everybody a question, man. I want y'all to be all the way honest with me. How many chess players we got in the house? Because I guarantee you, if you got the right pieces, you can beat the best chess player in the world. Okay? See, the game of football is not like chess, but we think of it like chess. We think all people got to do is draw up schemes, and then when you draw up a scheme, that's going to take care of it. No. In the game of football, you're only as good as the pieces you have. So let's say if I was able to go against the OC right now, and he got a traditional chessboard, but I'm able to tweak my chessboard to where I'm able to come out with 3 queens, which is the most powerful piece. I'm going to kill OC. Just because I'm coming out there with 3 queens, if you know what I mean. You see what I'm saying? That's what the Dallas Cowboys are attempting to do with this 4-3 under. That's why they dominated the hell out of the offense when they previewed it, when they first broke it out. They had Dak Nim in distress because of the chess pieces. It's not the player in terms of the coach. It's the guy, the piece that he has. You see what I'm saying? So I want to just kind of explain that so that we can kind of see why somebody like a Micah Parsons with the OC's vision, the OC said this draft night, when we drafted him, he said, boss, you know what I would want to see? I would want them to create a way for him to come off the edge. OC, you got your wish.
Thank you. And if they rush this boy, he's gonna get 10 sacks this season or more.
Oh, Jesus.
If they rush him, I'm telling you, if they rush him consistently on third down, he's gonna get 10 sacks. Gonna be rookie of the year. I guarantee you, at least 10. I mean it too. I mean it. You heard it here first. If they rush him consistently, he gonna get 10 sacks this year. I guarantee or more.
I'm looking at I'm looking at the chat. Man, Balls is throwing up Kool-Aid emojis. That's what I told y'all. I say, man, there's no way you can watch this show and not get a sweet tooth. And this is not this is not bopping. This is not Cowboy fandom. We talking about schemes, X's and O's, and common sense. That's what we talking about. We not talking about, ooh, I like Parsons, he fast. Look, I wasn't buying Quinn when we drafted him. I had to see what Quinn was going to do before I picked up some Kool-Aid. You see what I'm saying? Now that I'm seeing what he's doing, man, give me that juice. I'm drinking it. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Extra sugar.
Extra sugar. Man, pour it all in there, bro.
Dump it in there.
Dump it in there, man.
Dump it in there.
Like, I was on Twitter today, and somebody said, and also, I still got to give another shout out to my boy Matt Owens, because Matt Owens is the one that flagged me to the 4-3 under. And I really began to study it. And then it was just like the show from Sunday, to where when you understand the principles of a defense, and then you can look at your coach and see and say, is he following the recipe? See what I'm saying? So if a 4-3 traditional is built on defensive ends, is he doing that? Is the 4-3 under built on the talent of your Sam? Is he doing that? Is he putting Parsons at the Sam? Yes. Is he putting Gregory at the Sam? Yes. Are they also trying them both at the Leo? Yes. So why wouldn't I take a sip of some juice?
Yeah, man, I get it. I get it.
Say, man, so listen, this is set up for us to be absolutely destructive. All right, hold on. I'm gonna play a little bit more. OC, we good on time? We okay?
Yeah, we good right now.
Okay. All right. So I want to play real quick. I already played Randy. Okay. So this is the other thing I wanted to get into. And I'm just keeping it real, y'all. All right. I think we already kind of did a real good job of explaining the 4-3 under. The fact that it's a combination of what we need the most of, a run stoppage defense, mixed with a heavy pass, pressuring defense. That's what this is. Okay. This is the OC's vision that has come to pass. That's what we're looking at.
Yes.
This is not the 3-4. This is the 4-3 under, which has 3-4 principles because Gregory is going to be standing up. But Tank Hand is going to be in the ground, and it's going to be 4 down linemen, which makes it not a 3-4. It's
correct.
The 4-3 under. All right?
Yep.
Now let's talk about some rumors. That's not good. Okay?
Oh, no.
Because, yes, we drunk Kool-Aid, but we got some concerns, and we go bring it here. Now, before we talk about this, man, come on, y'all. Y'all got to hit that share. Y'all know very few podcasters could have explained what me and the OC just explained. Most people couldn't. Go ahead.
And don't forget the like button. Go ahead, boss.
Yeah, definitely hit that like button, man. Like I see a lot of people saying they drinking Kool-Aid. One of the best things you can do is honestly drink that like button. And then also make sure you share and subscribe, because a lot of people are not getting the truth. People are asking, what's going on with linebacker? Why did they have Neal out there? And why did Tank not play or practice yesterday? And why didn't LVE not get snaps? So everybody looking for drama, and it's not. They just added a package because this is mini camp, which is what you do. You build on top of your foundation. This is another level. But let's get to the other stuff that I'm actually not happy to discuss. Here we go.
No Donovan Wilson today, by the way. Sore knee still.
Oh.
So yeah, and by the way, it's kind of hearing some whispers about Donovan Wilson was not around very much in the offseason.
Oh no.
So kind of keep an eye on that.
Oh no. Donovan Wilson part sounds concerning.
Yeah, you guys hear anything?
Well, no, he's got a sore knee, but I was hearing some whispers that when it came to guys being around, who was around to get ready, Donovan Wilson was not a participant. But I was hearing some whispers that when it came to guys being around, who was around to get ready, Donovan Wilson was not a participant. A lot of in the early getting ready part of things. So that might be Donovan Wilson might have been in a situation think he was getting his Hall of Fame jacket or something like that and didn't need to be around.
Okay, sounds like we need a safety.
Yeah,
because J-Ron Curse probably doesn't need to be an NFL starter.
He's been playing. They've been using him as a starter quite a bit, actually.
I know. It scares me.
OC, what you got on that?
Well, I don't know. It's one or two things that could be taking place. This man is not preparing the way that he should, or there is some disgruntledness based upon how he's perceived that he's going to be used in his defense, and that's what I think. So, at this point, I really don't know 100%, but I know the culture of this team underneath the leadership of Dak Prescott is that everybody is here, everybody is preparing, everybody is working. So if he's not falling within that culture and there's underlining things that we don't know, it could bode bad for him in the coming months with his playing time, or either just get him replaced.
Okay. Now, he's a fan favorite. So we walking light right now. We not making no assumptions. The OC did not. But I want y'all to also listen to the perspective of players. That's very important. Okay? Y'all check this out.
The mandatory minicamp is next week. Head coach Mike McCarthy says it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So mandatory. So these OTAs, these organized team activities, these were voluntary. Got to be there next week or you face a fine. So Church, I'll start with you.
Mm-hmm.
What is it you get out of a mandatory minicamp that you're not getting out of the OTA?
To me, I think the biggest difference is basically just time. Because in the OTAs, you're on a strict schedule. Because I think you're only there for maybe 2 hours. You got a couple hours or a couple minutes to meet and everything like that before practice. But when you get to those mandatory mini camps, it's basically like a training camp practice. You're up early in the morning. You come in. You have your special teams meeting, or you have breakfast first. Maybe get a lift in. Then you have your special teams meetings. Then you go, and those special teams meetings are long. They're about 45 to an hour. Then you go and do your team, your defense or your offense. You guys meet as a group. You do that. Then you break off an individual. It's just meetings on top of meetings on top of meetings. And then you go out there and practice. And the practices are longer as well. I think they're about 2.5 hours. So
I'm sorry, that was the wrong one. This is the
That's
one.
all right.
and in the practices, like you get all the period.
Hold on real quick. Something happened to
No
the
problem.
volume.
You're fine.
You get the 7-on-7s, the teams, the team runs, the team passes, the 2-minute drills. And usually in OTAs, one day you'll do a team drill here. The next day you might do it.
That was the wrong one too. This is the right one.
Right, they are on the practice field right now here at the Star in Frisco, and it's the final voluntary mandatory OTA. So make sure you understand all day long. It says voluntary, but you getting side eyes if you are not there.
You in the dog
Side eyes.
Okay.
If you ain't high enough on the roster, you're not getting no eyes. You be at home.
Hey, mail that iPad back over here.
Don't even come back, players. We got somebody else for you.
Say.
No Donovan Wilson today, by the way. Sore knee still.
So you got former players telling you the perception in Dallas. And they said that last week, so they not talking at Donovan. Okay? They was telling you the culture of missing those voluntary workouts in Dallas. So we all really, and then Broadus, it's the way Broadus said it. He said, what I'm hearing, right? So he getting this from upper level people. Is that he wasn't showing up to the voluntary stuff. And they talked to Brian Broadus about it. So what I hope, OC, because this happens in football. This happens, man, where you have to manage offense. You know what I mean? OC, we got to talk about that. We got to talk about managing the egos of coaches and players. If we don't talk about it today, we got to do a show in the future about that, because we looking at what could be, like you said earlier, maybe he's disgruntled because it's like, I felt like I earned a starter role. Now all of a sudden I got to battle again. I'm better than that, and treat me like that. That's why Broadus came out and said it's like he already got a gold jacket or something. They basically saying the perception from the person he heard it from is saying that he felt like he earned it.
Well, here it is, man. NFL is not for long. And every single year, you got to earn your position unless you are a Hall of Fame caliber player. And Donovan Wilson is not. He's not a Ray Lewis. He's not, a Jay Ratliff. He's not a Russell Maryland. He's not any of the all-time greats. He's not on that level yet. And so he's a solid, NFL starter. So he's going to have to come and battle, because in a league, unfortunately, man, nobody feels sorry for you but yourself. And so we can talk about the politics of new coaching staff and favorites and all that kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, you're not going to get nowhere if you don't show up and play. And so at the end of the day, even if he is injured, he should be around. So I think that, if he's not around and in the building and you're not present, showing support with your teams, that's saying something. I see Chris Davis' comment. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. But you should be around. And here's the deal too. If you're just injured and it's all good, they would just say you're injured.
Right.
They would not give fodder to media who's go talk to millions of people.
Right.
About a gold jacket and you didn't show up, and it's not going to be painted that way. When they do that, they're sending a message to you. They don't care that everybody knows. They're not covering you. They don't have your back in that way. So we would not even be talking about this if it was just a case of an injury. Oh, he's injured. He's going to sit out the OTAs. Okay, end of story. But it wasn't spoken about in that manner. That's what you got to recognize.
That's what you got to recognize. And see, that's why I fear talking about this, because I know he's a fan favorite and he's a favorite of mine. I like him a lot. You know, we just got to talk about and tell the truth. Like, the OC is so right, it's scary. That Tristan Hill, he's still nursing that ACL. What did they say? He's on the sideline, nursing ACL, no problems. Jarwin, he's nursing ACL. What did they say? He didn't participate because he's nursing. Donovan Wilson, they let out a totally different message.
Correct. Correct.
And this is after giving him 6. The number 6. It's only 2 people had their numbers changed. Donovan Wilson and Jalen Smith. So when you had your number changed, that's a lot of clout. That's a lot of belief. That's almost like you solidified.
Mm-hmm.
And then to say, church, they told you how it's perceived in Dallas. Turn in your iPad. You don't come into, you better be Emmitt Smith to do that. You better be Romo. You better be Dak 3 years from now. Dak can't even do that right now. Dak couldn't just be like, I ain't showing up. I'm the starter. They would leak it faster than lightning. Dak's leadership is in question. What is going on with Dak Prescott? He didn't show up. The whole world would know. Jerry Nim would start counting his money quick. So we just trying to tell you, maybe this is fire from smoke, but this is show enough smoke.
Correct. So we got to wait and see how this whole thing plays out, man. We don't really know, but right now it's some internal disconnect at best. It's some internal disconnect at best. So we'll see what happens with it.
See, Chris, you drinking the wrong type of Kool-Aid. You drinking Kool-Aid with cocaine. See, you gotta drink.
No, don't tell him that.
Okay. All right, listen.
Don't
you just said, okay, when a player is your favorite, you still got to be honest on what you heard. I'm going to play it one more time. I'm not going to play it no more. And we going to really see what Brada said. And then after that, if you still hear something different, then I'm just going to conclude that you don't want to hear it. All right, here we go.
All right.
Oh, yeah. And by the way, it's kind of hearing some whisper. No Donovan Wilson today, by the way. Sore knee still.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah. And by the way, it's kind of hearing some whispers about Donovan Wilson was not around very much in the offseason.
Oh.
So he said he wasn't around very much in the what? Off-season.
Oh, no.
So kind of keep an eye on that.
Oh, no. Donovan Wilson part sounds concerning.
Yeah, you guys hear anything?
Well, no, he's got a sore knee, but I was hearing some whispers that when it came to guys being around, who was around to get ready, Donovan Wilson was not a participant. A lot of in the early getting ready part of things. So that might be Donovan Wilson might have been a situation. Think he was getting his Hall of Fame jacket or something like that and didn't need to be around.
Okay, sounds like we need a safety.
Yeah,
because Jaron Kearse probably doesn't need to be an NFL starter.
He's been playing. They've been using him as a starter quite a bit, actually.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right. So it's clear what he's saying. Broadus did not say what you said. Broadus said the opposite. It's clear that it was given to Broadus as a complaint. All right. So I'm not going to ignore it because I like a guy. I do like him. I do believe he should start, but I'm also not going to act like this is nothing just because I want to hope. That's not what I'm about. That's not what the OC is about. That's not what this show is about. We always go seek to tell you the truth, even if it might hurt your feelings, but we mean well.
Yeah, but moving on, man. I mean, hey, at the end of the day, you had a lot of people there, and if Wilson doesn't show up for whatever reason, look, I like Wilson. Like I said, I think he's a good NFL player, but I mean, we got enough flexibility to still get the job done, even if that's not the case. And so that's what what I'm saying we got to do. And so I'll see you, Marvin, in the building.
Now hold on, let me address this dude, Chris. Man, he's starting to get on my nerves.
No.
I gotta check you for this, bro. Cause see, I don't like fans like you. I really don't. I don't like fans like you. Cause what you doing is, see, what you said was when Curse plays like SHIT. See, I can't stand people like you, because what you do, you got a favorite, so you start rooting against the other guy. Don't root against none of the guys. That's why we got this divide with Romo and Dak right now. Fans like you. So this is not hating on Donovan Wilson. It's not. And stop hating on Curse. I want both of those balls to do well. We just reporting what's coming out there and giving you the perspective. Stop being a bopper. That's a bopper. That's a man bopper. Stop it. So if you go follow this page, it's a certain spirit that's on this page, right? We don't kiss up to you either. I'm not gonna kiss up to you, and you not gonna get up in here and just dog and piss on and spit on players that's trying to fight for us. Not for no reason. Now, if you got a complaint with Curse play, I'm open to hear that. I'm open to debate that. But we not gonna just say he go play like SHIT just because you bopping Donovan Wilson. I want both of them to do well. You should too. Sorry, OC. I know you didn't want me to do that. I know.
No.
We should take every subscriber serious. We should try to fight for every subscriber. But every now and then, I don't like what I see from people that follow us, and I want to tell them, bro. Because that's fake, bro. Don't talk about when he play like shit. Do you understand if he play like shit, the Dallas Cowboys suffer because you got a favorite? It's a whole lot of fans that's hoping Dak play bad because they still mad about Romo. We need to grow up as fans.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, if anybody doesn't play well, then they're gonna be on the bench anyway, and that's gonna be the nature of this defense with the depth and with the pieces that we got. So moving on from there.
Gotcha. Thank you, OC. For coming me down.
But like, moving on from there. Like, we gonna land this plane here pretty soon anyway.
Land this plane. Let me just say this. This to me was one of our best shows because I think we fully broke down what was going on with the change in this week's mini camp. Because it's a lot of questions. It was a lot of people like, hold on. Gregory as Sam, Gregory at rush in, Parsons playing all three linebackers. Now you know why. The 4-3 under. That's why. Okay. So, and y'all forgive me, I do get in my feelings sometimes. I do, because I got a passion for this team. And even I'ma even apologize to you, Chris, because you giving your opinion, but I just didn't like what happened. But I still gotta show respect to people that listen to our show, man. You know what I mean? And I apologize openly for that, Chris, because I need to kind of temper myself down, because I'm still a fan at the end of the day, and I get excited and too excited. But man, like, this is a show to keep. Save this show, because now when you watching them, you gonna be able to see them when they move to the 4-3 under. You gonna know what it look like. So when you see Parsons go to that left edge, or if he go plays the Leo, the right end, you gonna say, there it is. That's that 4-3 under. And if he take off, you like, there it is, sack, ah! And you gonna know why it happened.
No doubt, man. No doubt, man. Listen, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Boss Cowboy Sports, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter. All right, turn on a bell notification icon so you can get the updates on the latest and greatest on Cowboy sports and news. Got a lot of great things coming for you guys as we head into the heat of the summer and the start of training camp. So you want to stay tuned for the latest and greatest. And Dallas Cowboy Sports with Boss Cowboy Sports. Don't forget also, if you'd like to support us, $ Boss Cowboy Sports in the Cash App. We appreciate all your gifts and contributions. They go toward us doing more content like this for you guys and optimizing the show and creating the best experience when you guys support us by watching. So thank you so much.
Yeah, and before we get out of here, my boy Chris, he came in and he said, I wasn't trying to be inflammatory, just saying what I think, and I don't think I'm alone in those thoughts. You not. And again, I apologize for it, and we go both move forward as fans. So I'm going to tell you, Chris, and everybody that listening, in case you don't know the spirit of Boss Cowboy Sports, we strive to be loyal here, and we mean that, not devoted. So we don't fall in love with anybody, any player, or anything. We are only focused on trying to get the best ideas out there so it can potentially get in the building. Sometimes disagreements happen in the process, but know that we mean well and that we are really, really trying to just give ideas that's going to make us win. That's really the spirit of what we're doing. So with that, I have nothing else unless you do, OC. You got something?
We out, man.
We out.
Boss Cowboy Sports, where your voice matters. Boss Cowboy Sports.